What people will find surprising about this season of Succession is how relentlessly consistent it is, how strong this season is.
My family have disappeared. I need to know where everyone is and what everyone's thinking.
There he is, the little man who started this big war.
And there are some really fun turns with all of the characters, and it'll be a blast to kind of see how everybody responds to all the fun turns that they have in store. Willa is Connor's girlfriend, who initially started out as a hired girlfriend and then became his permanent girlfriend. I would say that she's incredibly savvy, a little bit manipulative, but I actually do feel like she's incredibly vulnerable as well and has a pretty big heart. So she's a weird mix of, she's a hybrid character. She's not as easily hateable as some of the other characters, in my opinion. I think over the seasons, it's been nice to just kind of understand what the dynamic is between these two people. It's a really complicated, kind of strange relationship that you don't see very often. So I was as interested as I imagine the audience was in trying to figure out, like, what is going on here? In terms of Willa in particular, I will say there are a lot of people who have been very disturbed by the tossing of the iPad moment in season 2, in a way that I did not expect. People are like, that was that was terrifying. I was like, oh, it's so funny. I didn't really think of it as being a terrifying move in the moment, because I was thinking of it as through Willa's journey to that, chucking it off the boat. But I've been surprised at how many people are like, that was crazy and horrible. So every time I get one of these scripts, I feel so lucky just to be reading it. It's so exciting.
Do you have an actual case, Ken?
Yes, I can kill him.
Is he gonna watch?
Could we make a note in the minutes that he's watching?
The characters are all so clear and fun. It's almost like an elevated dialogue. It feels like Shakespearean or something. It's so different than anything that you kind of run into on TV. There's definitely some eccentricity to it. And then to watch these incredible actors take the writing and just play with every single take is a different thing. I'm not kidding when I say I've learned from every single actor on this show. Matthew McFadden, even watching him in a table read, it feels like he's channeling some acting spirit god person. I'm like, how did you get this last night? And you're coming to the table and you just, that's what you deliver, is just this shiny, beautiful, fantastic performance. And we're in a table read under fluorescent lighting, just it's insane watching him. I think Sarah Snook, watching her and just how different she is from her character in real life. She's this kind of hippie, fun, goofy, blast of a person. And then just to see her zip into Shiv, this powerhouse shark dragon lady, it's amazing. Nick Braun, I love watching him just play, and he's so incredibly lovable, and he's also an incredible improv actor. He's really, really good. Watching Alan, playing with Alan, acting with Alan is such a treat. He's so open and vulnerable and there for it and quick. And then Brian Cox, it's like watching a giant just come in and just be throwing it down every single time. And he's also just the most empathetic, kind human. In terms of pulling out a message from the show, I'm sure everybody has their own kind of takeaway. My takeaway watching it is, gosh, power can be lonely and cold. And that's what I'm constantly shocked by, is watching all these characters is just what a cold and lonely life this seems to be. Even though they're all so entrenched in their dynamics, there's so much distance between all of them. And couples that you know, Tom and Shiv and Logan and Marsha, just watching and absorbing the way that they all interact with each other. I'm like, wow, you guys have everything. And it looks like the worst, most cold, I want to take a bath after watching it and just hug everyone that I love. I think people are really hooked on Succession because of the quality and the story. It's a really wild marriage of something that feels relatable to our time and to, you know, the way that we imagine those in power, and also kind of feels like this like foreign land that we all get to like kind of tap into, this thing that's like kind of inaccessible that not many people have access to. And then on top of that, I just think the quality, like there are a lot of people behind this project that like care very deeply, and I think that translates into the quality of the show.